Okay, it's time for 101 roof repairs for all you weekend warriors out there. I'm up on the roof. By the way, this is Papa Patras, also known as Peter Rocker Crowfoot, with Crowfoot Homes, LLC, Design and Build. And here's your free tip video lesson of the day. All of you who had your house built about 10, 12 years ago, they've come up with a new roofing system. You know, here we have your traditional 3-tap shingle that we all grew up with. Now look at the top. You can see up there, there is what we call the ridge capping, but there's no ventilation. That's a no-no. Not kicking dirt on anybody, but you never put a vent right in the valley. That's out of code. You've got to be at least 9 inches out when you're nailing, but you never want to do that. Not quite sure. I've seen that on a lot of roofs out here. You can see all these roofs around here. There's a ridge vent. Now you notice there's not very much ventilation here. Now 90%, that's right, 90% of all roofs are set up for failure before they're even installed. Why? Inadequate ventilation. All manufacturers, I've worked with all of them. The manufacturers for CertainTeed, Owens Corning, Tamco, Healy Brown, ABC Roofing, the good folks over at Joe, which is Commercial Roofing Specialist, they will all tell you the same thing. You gotta have proper ventilation. Now here's what's going on. You know, when you're a kid growing up in school, you learn about how heat rises to the highest point. Well, it's a typical hot dog day, August, probably about 180 degrees up here on the roof, okay? It's probably in the 90s down there, but on the roof, you gotta understand asphalt, it penetrates dirt. I don't know if you can kind of see the waves of the heat, but look what we've got here. See that right there? This is what causes roof leaks. 90% of the leaks that I fix, look at that. First of all, that's a big no-no. You never want to have your roof with this on, okay? These are pneumatic staples. Tell you what happens, it's great for high production, but look at that. With the pneumatic guns, calibration, if the pressure's set too high, it'll shoot through there, and nothing's really holding the roof. But in this situation right here, this is actually backed up over the last several years. You got to understand, you got 15 years of hot dog day summers. And what happens is these fasteners or nails, in some cases, they'll back all the way out. And you've got leaks, multiple leaks on this roof. This is for my good friends Susan and Debbie Dobson. I'm coming over here and just volunteering my time a little bit to do some roof repairs. They lost their daddy a few years back, and it's good every now and then to help your neighbors out. She's been wonderful helping me out with issue with my father, as I'm sure y'all are aware about his recent accident. So this is my way of coming back and saying, hey, I love you, I'm going to help you out. And those of you in the social media, this is important. This is a free added value video on how to repair roofs. Now, I wouldn't recommend this because it's very steep. You can see that right there. See how steep that is? I've been doing this for 30 years, okay? Now what we're going to do is, in simpler terms, we're going to take this. Now this is construction glue, liquid nail. It's used for many different things. Ideally what you want is like Roofing Jack product, but this will work. There's also another product out there that is called Geosil. It's a wonderful product that you can put actually on there. It's clear, and what happens is that product, it fuses with the petroleum and reseals it. Now I'm just getting what I have. We went in there, we found some tools. This is all kind of impromptu, and we're going to fill that. Typically you would have a caulking gun. No caulking gun, so if you don't have a caulking gun, what you can do is you can split it open. You can see, and then what I do, just take some of this, raise it up, and you can see right here, we're filling all those nails, right? pound it down, presto, no more leak, it's gone. Now what we've got to do is I'm going to come back in a couple of weeks and we're going to put a ridge vent system on there. Ridge vent systems are really cool. I'm going to give you, if you look down there, there'll be a link to Lowe's. I buy all my products from Lowe's because I've been using them for several years. I got a good discount with them. Home Depot's great, all your local suppliers. There's nobody bad. It's just whoever you have that working relationship with. Brian Aguilera is our outside sales rep, does a fantastic job for us, always gets our materials on time. But for you weekend warriors, make sure when you do something like this that you follow guidelines, OSHA safety guidelines, okay? I've been doing this for years. I have some special shoes that allow me to walk on this. I've got jeans on. But as you can see, it's a very steep roof. You see those nails, those staples? I've repaired now about 7 different places. We call them little eyebrows. It's just where the 3-tab shingle lifts up. It's a telltale sign where there's a water leak. Because you can bet you that water is penetrating into that house from the pressure cooking effect, the greenhouse effect of those nails backing out over 15 years now. So I'm going to come back in a couple weeks and we're going to see if Lowe's will donate some materials to these good folks, and I'll supply the labor, and we'll put a ridge vent system. It's called a Cobra ridge vent system. It's a passive ventilation system. Heat rises to the highest point and the air will escape. You don't need those motors. You remember motors burn out after 3 years. Those big fans that all the retail stores were selling, I installed them. But then we had a lot of maintenance calls. We had to come back about 3 or 4 years later. The motor burns out. And it's really tough on your electrical bill. We're all trying to reduce our carbon footprint. So the less energy and electricity we use, the better off we are. So that's your tip for the day, and I hope that helped. Hey, remember, wherever you are, be there. If you're at work, be at work. If you're at home, be at home. If you live a balanced day, as I always say, you have a balanced life. Have a great one.